Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are continuing our LOLIROCK video. So let's begin from where we left off. In my previous video, we just finished talking about Nathaniel and Iris. Let's continue the ships and let's start off with Iris and Lev. I'm sure you guys have been wanting to hear the most awaited ship yet. Lev and Iris. Okay, so first we get introduced to the character of Lev in the finale of season 1, episode 25, Home. Lev is introduced as the no orders taking rebel-like character, which we all love him. Who doesn't love a bad boy, defy authorities kind of character? Iris and Lev's introduction is quite unidealistic because, let's face it, they're both running for their lives, escaping from jail, and not quite the romantic adventure you'd expect. The guy is cocky, super cute, handsome, and totally full of himself. As a character himself, he is a really interesting character. Like, what's his backstory, what's his motive? Well, we do know his motive is to be a bounty hunter. He's there for the money. He'd do anything for money. So that's why he took the job from Greymoor to lure in Iris and trap her twice. Not once, but twice. Guy is such a good actor that us, the viewers, even fell for his act. Furthermore, the fact that this guy has only 4 episodes in total and has more development and interesting chemistry than Nathaniel and Iris, who had entire seasons, says that Nathaniel is pretty much of a boring character. He's a backstabber and a traitor, but can we really blame him for it? Considering Ophelia was probably under siege and under threat from Greymoor for many years. Say Iris was 16 years old right now, and probably since she was born, Ophelia was under siege by Greymoor. So that's 16 years trying to survive under his reign. Now I get the royal families of each realm had a lot to lose by accepting Greymoor as a ruler and etc. And obviously Greymoor is not a good guy. That's a fact. And they probably would have been miserable under his reign. But let's not forget, he wasn't the only one who made a deal with Greymoor. So did Jordan, aka Ariana's brother, who had a lot more to lose than Lev. That's why I was more accepting to his redemption arc, because he did what he had to survive those 16 years, as did Oriana's brother Jordan. As he said, Iris is supposed to be the Wonder Princess to save Ophelia from evil Lord Greymoor. Did I copy that right? Not to mention, when Iris finally gets captured in season 2 Return of Lev, she realizes again he's trapped her. He does, from his expressions, he does look upset and feels guilty. It shows that he feels guilty, and in the end he sacrifices himself to save Iris. I absolutely love that about him. That is so sweet and so adorable. No wonder Iris was falling for him. We still don't know what really happened to him, but we'll get that in a bit later. The guy was super sweet and supportive when Nathaniel was being a douchebag. Not that it was his fault, but still. Iris didn't know that, did she? Their whole relationship had a rocky start, but soon after, they did start becoming more of frenemies type of shit. Damn! They showed how Iris and Lev's relationship progressed from being distrusted strangers to betrayals. She did not immediately believe him when he told her that her father has sent him, so she was skeptical, which was perfect for the development. Slowly but surely, he got her to listen to him, and they delved deeper into the relationship, as in they became somewhat of friends, and she started catching feelings for him again. Despite the initial betrayals and the way he treated her at first, and the way there's a lot of distrust, but in the end, he did sacrifice himself for her. So the question is, how does this fare in the relationship status? In my opinion, I think he would be better suited for Iris because He knows who she really is. He knows who she is, what she's meant to be, and he was not impressed by her title or anything like that. He was impressed by her character, especially since it was because of her resilience and her determination to free Ophelia from Greymore. He saw that she was able to, and she had the ability to fulfill the prophecy to defeat Greymore, and he put his trust in her by letting her go. He had every right to be skeptical at first because he's probably waited years for someone to save their planet or something like that. So where do these two come in the ship scale? I would give this, and I'm still trying not to be biased here, but I'm gonna give this ship a 9 out of 10 simply because of the betrayals, and also because we have no idea where Lev is. We saw a lot of people reuniting during the finale of season 2, which I will be talking a bit later. Jordan was reunited with Ariana, and a lot of people were reunited except for Lev. Lev was missing. So was Mephisto. What happened to them? That's the question. We'll talk about both these situations a little bit later. These two still have time to develop and go deeper into relationship, chemistry. There's so much more they can go into. So I think these two could work if Lev returned. But let's see what happens. Anyways, let's get to the next ship, aka Ariana and Mephisto. Ariana, the princess of Volta, and Mephisto, the nincompoop and the jokester of the two evil twins. Interesting pair we have here. Honestly, I don't see the chemistry or the appeal of this ship, but then that's the fandom for you. These two characters literally only had one episode for the ship to sail, and obviously it sunk. Ariana and Mephisto's ship was formed during the episode of Wicked Red. I really liked the episode overall, but we're not gonna talk about that for the minute. Wicked Red was the only episode where we saw some sort of dynamic between Mephisto and Ariana. Honestly, the only thing I saw was Mephisto and Praxina taking advantage of their spell on Ariana, and it didn't feel much of any chemistry between the two, except for Mephisto's sort of attraction towards Ariana, and that's basically it. So I don't really understand this ship, but hey, that's a fandom. All I can say is, should Mephisto turn good, Ariana may prefer Mephisto over any other character. However, we already see Ariana and Doug's chemistry. I feel like those two would be a much better couple than Ariana and Mephisto, but hey, that's just me. Those two have way more meaningful interactions, and they're sort of friends, and they do understand each other. So I'd say that this ship is way down the drain, and I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10 because there's really not much I can say about this one. And that's all I can say about the ships in this series. I know there are a couple others like Talia and Kyle, and of course Doug and Ariana, but I'm not gonna mention those two because there's not much information on them, and there's not enough content for those two ships. With the ships done, let's start with season 2 and 1 finale breakdown. I'm gonna start off with season 1 finale because I can, so deal with it. And also because season 2 finale won't make sense until I do the season 1 finale. Season 1 finale was fully action-packed, full of lore, and super fast-paced. So I've got a few positive points to say about this finale, and of course a few negative points. Let's start off with the entire story, what happened in this episode. Season 1 finale started off with Mephisto and Praxina with their usual planning and schemes, except this time it wasn't their scheme, it was Greymore's. He for once planned the scheme and succeeded. I mean, if you'd planned all of them, they'd always succeed, except you're too busy sitting on your throne and grunting about your minion's failure when...
Stop it. Get some help.
You're the one who's supposed to be the responsible one. Well, not exactly responsible, but you get what I mean. You're supposed to be the one planning, scheming. Aren't you the big bad villain? Huh? Yeah, I really hate Claymore. Deal with it. It's not because he's a villain or he's like a really awful person or anything. It's because he's a terrible character. I mean, there was so much lore you could have explored with that character. There was so much world building, but no. He had almost nothing to do with the entire 2 seasons. During the finale, however, I absolutely loved his planning. He sent some sort of meteorite to Earth. Once it exploded while stopped by the princesses, it contained some of his minions which attacked the princesses and captured them. And all Mephisto and Ariana had to do was send them through a portal. Wasn't that easy? Couldn't you have done that like few episodes back? But of course, they had to make the finale interesting. I did like that. It was definitely interesting to see they finally captured the princesses, as Greymoor always. That was literally the only request, more like an order, but you get what I mean. Ordered those twins to do. Capture the princesses. What are you doing? Capture the princesses, of course. At least for once, they actually managed to do the job. Not exactly in favor of Greymoor in the end, at least. Once captured, they went through a portal and end up in Ophidia at the main castle. Of course, he doesn't really care about Talia and Ariana, so he sends them off into the forest with some guards because it's like, I don't really care what happens to you, so get lost. Lucky for those two, they get saved. Well, sort of. So here's some more lore regarding the series. According to the finale of season 1, only an heir or a member of the royal Ophidian family can take the crown out of its protective barrier. And only Iris can do that, technically. So that's why he actually wanted to capture her, because he wants the crown. And without the crown, Ophidia is completely vulnerable. And of course, she said, hell no. Q2 meeting Lev. I am not going to repeat that whole fandom rant regarding Lev and Iris. I just can't. Otherwise, this is gonna take an entire more hour. Going back to Ariana and Talia, they get saved by 2 unknown mysterious figures. Turns out they are princesses. How many princesses are there, first of all? And second, they get saved by 2 other princesses of 2 other realms, Borealis and Calic. And more lore is discovered. Turns out they are members of the resistance group against Greymoor, which is epic because usually in stories and shows you don't get a resistance group. It's always some sort of magical fated destiny person who's supposed to come and save the planet or the kingdom or whatever, but there's usually not like a resistance group or whatnot. This was an epic and extremely well detailed part of LOLIROCK. And guess who's running the resistance? That's right, Talia's older sister, Azira, the one whose medallion was so powerful that she lost it.
Emotional, damn it!
One of the things I did hate about the finale is the fact that, say, they did explain that Azira escaped Greymoor's dungeon thanks to both the princesses. I keep forgetting their names. But it's not specifically explained exactly how. I mean, isn't the dungeon supposed to be super secure and stuff? So I was like really hoping to see how she would escape or Talia saving her and etc. But I guess this is like a different approach with this, which is quite interesting how the immediate thing she did was start a resistance group. And it's not just the princesses, it's all kinds of citizens from several different kingdoms we can see in their camp. Here's my question though. If Azira's still alive, what about her parents, the rest of their family? Where are they? Another plot hole or another unanswered question. Cueing back to Iris and Lev tricks Iris into taking out the crown, and of course the Greymore steals it and somehow becomes all powerful. Here's the thing, they were so close into defeating Greymore. They could have easily defeated Greymore right there and then in the season 1 finale, but they didn't. According to, I don't know, I guess it must have been a prophecy written. Remember when we watched the Chanela episode? According to Iris achieved her Chanela, there was a huge writing glow up in the throne room, which could indicate that it's the only way to defeat Greymore is by collecting the Oracle gems. Even though they could have just easily defeated him right there and then, they had to take the complicated route. Buddy, if you can't defeat Iris and her friends, why do you think, how can you think that Mephisto and Praxina can? Bro, they're your minions, not you. You are all powerful. Like, you're the super powerful rage freak. Damn, Greymore got his butt handed to him during the... Also, there's one last thing I wanted about this finale. The fact that they didn't bring up the one Oracle gem Greymore did achieve in getting thanks to Mephisto. He's got brains. Overall, I would give this finale a 7 out of 10, mostly for the nitpicks that I did not like about it. And that's all I have to say for the season 1 finale. Now on to season 2. Season 2 finale. Wow, there's a lot to unpack. Let's just start off with the tension between Iris and Nathaniel. Iris straight up invites Nathaniel to a romantic picnic, but doesn't want to be more than friends. Okay, I get you need to, you only have one gem left and you need to save Ophidia and whatnot, but could you at least be straightforward and not lead him on? Really? Nathaniel has every right to be mad right now. I'm not gonna talk about these two too much because we know by the end they become a couple, and Nathaniel's like, we can make the long distance relationship work. Like, don't worry, he loves her. Sorry, I just hate Nathaniel for some reason. Iris has only one gem left to find and the crown is complete, which means they have to go back to Ophidia like they did in the first season 1 finale. And just another note, turns out that Talia and Ariana didn't know about Aunt Ellen until the season finale. Like, why didn't you tell her? Could have used her help in several different things like spells and more advanced training, whatnot, anything history, but you didn't. Why? So they're just right now waiting for Iris's pendant to go to reveal the final gem. Insert Mephisto and Praxina. Here's the question though. Do you just sit around watching the princesses all day until they're supposed to attack or something? I mean, their plan is to watch Iris until her pendant glows and pretend to be a person in need so that when it does glow, which actually doesn't make sense because if there is someone in need, they're supposed to find the actual person to get the stone. But Mephisto pretends to be the person in need. So how in the world is she going to find that person in need? Which turns out to be Iris herself. But despite all this, I still think their whole plan was extremely brilliant. They weren't even after the gem. Their whole plan was to get into the house to get the magical spell book. And with that spell book, they were able to redirect the gemstone, the Oracle gem. That was brilliant. He was able to get into the house without any of them noticing that he's not really a person in need. Also, I absolutely love Mephisto and Praxina's dynamic. It's such a sibling dynamic chemistry. It's funny, hilarious, and totally relatable. So the fake scenario that Mephisto came up with is that his house burned down. The LOLIROCK came up with a benefit concert so he could build a new house. And while that whole thing was going on, he snuck into the house and got the magical spell book. All the while, Iris is trying to solve her love problems. I mean, she is in love with Nathaniel, and she has been, but she can't be with him because she needs to leave for Ophelia. So she should thank Praxina for becoming even more of a threatening villain. I applaud Mephisto's acting skills. He was magnificent. He was epic. He had them totally fooled. He was epic. They did not even suspect him for a second. For the record, these princesses, at times they are smart and at times they are totally dumb. They should have realized that Mephisto and Praxina would have tried something really clever to stop them from getting the final gemstone. Like, they should have been on their guard, looking out for any sort of suspicious activity, because there was only one gem left. They should have realized that those two knew it too. So I'm really mad that they didn't pick up on Mephisto's disguise. In the end, it was mostly about Iris finally accepting Nathaniel as her boyfriend and saying yes to him, which made her the person in need, and she finally achieved that, which got her the Oracle gem. But in contrast, it still got Mephisto and Praxina the magical book. They finally retrieved the Oracle gem, or so they thought. As soon as the Oracle gem appeared, Mephisto and Praxina attacked and redirected the stone to Ophelia in another place. Now, not only is the final gem in Ophelia somewhere that they need to locate, but Nathaniel is now trapped in stone. These two twins perfectly executed their plan, and it was amazing, which makes it all the more depressing when one of them doesn't make it out alive, or so we think. LOLIROCK, the princesses, proceed to go to Ophelia to locate the last final gem and meet up with the resistance, aka Azira, Lena, and Carissa. Okay, this reunion could have been a little bit more heartfelt because they haven't seen each other in a long time, and they basically haven't seen them since season 1 finale. So it's really sad that there was not more of a heartfelt moment. But it's understandable due to the stakes, how high the stakes are. Final gem is somewhere lost in Ophelia, and Grimo is this close to taking over all of Ophelia, and there's nobody who can stop him. Of course, Iris eventually finds the last Oracle gem, only for it to be snatched at the last minute by Mephisto and Praxina, of course. Okay, during this finale, I've realized that Mephisto isn't such a bad guy after all, and I'm gonna tell you why. Throughout season 2, we've seen Mephisto caring and being less on the evil side of things. He's being more caring, he's doing the right thing, even though he doesn't have to. Like that episode Statue. He could have taken the second stone making amulet and left that girl to stone, but he didn't. He gave it to Carissa. He didn't have to, but he did. We've seen snippets of Mephisto's good side here and there, especially in those episodes where he is definitely the main character, such as if you can't beat him, join him, and no chance for memories or forget you. Like, there were so many moments where it shows how compassionate and kind Mephisto can be. His only reason for being evil was there for his sister. Both siblings have this incredible bond that no matter what side they're on, they're always together. And this can be said for both of them. When Praxina lost her memories, she did not want to go back to being evil. She wanted to become good without her memories. But she went back. She had the choice. She went back because she felt bad and she wanted to be there for her brother. That is bond. That is sacrifice. That also explains her big motivation in the end of season 2. When Grimo gets the last gem, Praxina seems thrilled and excited. On the other hand, Mephisto, he looks disturbed. He's hoping, it's like he's hoping that the princesses will be able to stop Grimo, because in the end, it turns out they were only doing his bidding for a certain reward. What reward? We don't know. Why? No clue. But they were doing it for a reward. So what is their backstory? Their backstory is going to be extremely important in season 3, I'd say. The final battle against Grimoire and the princesses occurs on a cliff in a temple, and it is intense. The graphics, the stakes are so high. Grimoire has the crown and he's all powerful, more so than all of them combined. Well, one thing I really liked about the finale is that Iris wasn't the only one who faced off Greymore. Sure, she was the most powerful one there, but she initially started the fight, but she wasn't the only one there. All her friends united defeated Greymore. That signifies how united the rest of the kingdoms, all the rest of the realm in Ephedia are. Matter of fact, the only reason Greymore got the upper hand was because Iris hesitated when she saw Mephisto getting body slammed with a rock, and then that rock exploded and he's dead. At least we think so. That split second hesitation is what caused Greymore to get the upper hand, and then all the princesses rushed, specifically Ariana first and foremost, but that just shows how close their friendship is. Even a little Amaru stood there and tried to block back raise from Greymore. By casting a crystal shard spell into Greymore's hand, it knocked out the crown, and now Iris has the crown. They all united using a crystal luxra extreme spell, literally incinerating Greymore. Was one of the most epicest fights I have ever seen in a TV show. There's always that one overpowered character who's the hero, but in this show, despite Iris being the most overpowered hero ever, she still combined all of her friends and everyone in the realm to fight against the greatest threat there was, or was there. I am so happy. I was so happy to see such an amazing fight between the big bad and the heroes. It was epic. It was so nice to see all the princesses getting their crown. While all this is happening, Praxina is over there mourning her brother. Oh my god, I feel so bad for her. Despite all the horrible things she done throughout the season, I still feel incredibly bad for her. Especially since in the previous episode, before the finale, we saw how good she could be. And that's just sad. She literally falls to her doom and somehow survives afterwards, and then continues to call out her brother. That's just so depressing and so sad. That makes the last episode before the finale, it makes so much sense, because damn, they would do anything for one another. Here's something I noticed during the finale. All the while Greymore has been through his conquests and etc. through every single kingdom, Bane's been by his side, almost like an equal. And then during the finale, right when he's facing his doom, Bane walks away almost as if he's disappointed. There's something interesting. Down below, while Praxina is trying to get a grip, after almost falling to her doom, she meets Bane, who she is terrified of. And yet, Bane offers her part of Greymore's mask, which makes me wonder, where did that even come from? Going back to the princesses, they finally reach the castle and reunite with their families and friends. Iris finally meets her parents, and it's such a wholesome moment for all of them. But Praxina had to ruin it. He just had to ruin it. I mean, to be fair, if I was her, why would I want to see everybody else having so much fun and being so happy when I just lost someone close? Yeah, I don't blame her at all. First off, she looks absolutely terrifying with that mask, and that new look looks epic. Frankly, she made the right call not attacking Ephedia, because now that everyone is free, despite her new powers, there was no way she could face everyone. So she decided to hit Iris's weak spot, aka Earth, aka Nathania, but you guys know what I mean. Emotions are high, they're back to Earth, they're LOLIROCK again, they've returned as a band, and now with a brand new threat. For one thing, I love that they did not drag out the villain for more than the 2 seasons, because it would have been awful as continue to find even more Orchid Gems and etc., which would have been super boring. So I was so happy to see him finally defeated, but it was such an amazing fight, and the intense and the tension between all of the characters was epic. Plus, they gave us a brand new villain. Overall, I would give this finale a 9 out of 10, simply because they left us on a cliffhanger. Like, what the heck happened to to Mephisto? Where is the web? And what about the rest of Ariana and Talia's families? Not to mention, just because Nathaniel and Iris are a couple now doesn't mean they're gonna run into troubles later. They definitely will, which makes me wonder what's gonna happen between them. That one point I deducted was because it left us on a cliffhanger and then left us on a hiatus for so many years until now. We get some news about season 3, but because they took so long, I'm giving this a 9 out of 10, and you can't blame me for it. Let's talk about season 3 and its theories. I've got about 3 theories on this upcoming season, mostly because I don't have any content. Obviously, we barely know anything. So let's see. So let's move on to season 3 and its theory, starting with where is Mephisto? Let's talk about Mephisto. During the final battle, Mephisto and all the villains and the princesses fought in a unknown and dangerous cliff that not even Mephisto knew the name of. It was a mysterious area and a dark side of the Ephesian castle at the edge of a cliff. Basically, it was a very unexplored area of the Ephesian castle, a forest type of area at the edge of a cliff. Maybe I'm just overanalyzing things because Ephedia hasn't been that much explored yet, its landscapes or its areas, etc. Furthermore, we did not see Mephisto after the rock exploded. We only saw it explode and, Praxina mourning over him. Let's not forget the twins have the ability to transport, which is weird because the other princesses and all other people, other Ephesians don't have that power. So maybe it's something about dark magic, dark crystal magic. Or during the explosion, he could have ended up down below like Praxina did, except he might have ended up in a river down below. We've seen that there were rivers. Maybe there was a river right there and he got washed away with it and ended up in some dark underground historic area which hasn't been seen or uncovered in a long time. Perhaps he's uncovered a secret area, architecture area. Perhaps he discovered some ancient ruins before the time of the current king and queen. That also may reveal some history of Ephedia that not even the princesses know. This would give Mephisto a much more important role in the season, and it could result him in appearing midway in season 3. There's definitely a lot of history that we're yet to know. It could be explored in so many ways because this show only has 2 seasons and is very underdeveloped. That's my first theory. Now on to the second Mephisto theory. I have 2 theories of Mephisto, and the third one is about Bane. After the blast, a portal might have opened up because of the powerful energy rays, etc. I haven't really thought that through how it would have opened up, but it did open up somehow and landed Mephisto onto Earth, where he lost his memories similar to Praxina. Or he could have casted the spell himself to save him from imminent doom. Someone from the Sunny Bay happened to find him either unconscious or half injured or something of the sort. Mephisto stays unconscious for several days, causing the whole scandal with Praxina back in Ephedia. He may not lose all his memories like Praxina, because if he does, it'll be a bit repetitive and same as to Praxina episode where she forgets her memory. My guess is he forgets part of his memory, aka the final battle, which causes him to rethink what he's supposed to do. He doesn't know where he is, he doesn't know where his sister is, and he needs to think of a strategy or a plan to reunite with her. Now on to the third and last theory of this video. Bane, the mysterious and loyal ally of Greymore. Or is he? During the finale, he had no problem ditching Greymore and finding a new owner, aka Praxina, which leads me to believe that Bane was not the assistant or ally, the second in command. Rather, Greymore was his minion, and now Greymore completely got obliterated by the princesses. He requires a new minion, aka Praxina, and she's playing right into his paws. Here's my theory. Bane is some sort of evil, ancient evil that was there long before for the current king and queen, even before Greymore took over, obviously. His history and story has been buried deep underground, which ties up to my Mephisto theory, and the people of Ephedia probably forgot he exists, aka he was an ancient evil who fought the king and queen of the past and got spell turned into a lion or tiger creature, whatever he is. And instead of rushing into getting any type of magical item to defeat the rulers of that time again, he bided his time till everyone forgot about him and carefully selected his minions to do his bidding, aka Greymore, a power-hungry citizen who just wanted to rule all of Ephedia because he was also power-hungry. Same goes for Praxina, whose only motivation is revenge. He tricks everyone into believing Greymore is a big bad villain so no one would discover his secret. Times it seems that the Princess Talia, Ariana, Iris underestimate Baines. Why? Because it appears that way. But what if there's more to it? Nobody probably remembers him because he was from earlier days of Ephedia when the whole planet was still pretty new and the civilization was simply forming, etc. or something like that. The fact that Baines specifically carried the mask that Greymore wore indicates that the mask somehow is related to Baines, perhaps the object that transfers him his powers. Now that Praxina is with Bane and the main villain now, notice how her hand is the same color as Bane's mane. Or, it could be some kind of mind-controlling item. Who knows? Which means Greymore was a pawn in his game, and the real story is about to begin. So let's see what happens in season 3. Let me know in the comments down below what are your theories and what do you most hope for season 3. And that's all I have to say for this video. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, and share, and comment down below what other shows you want me to do. Let me know if you guys want more of LOLIROCK content. I'm here for ya. Bye!